Question is to the Premier. As reported on News Talk 1010, senior Liberal officials worked in secret to cancel the Slots at Racetrack program in 2012, knowing full well the devastating impact it would have on the horse racing industry. Court documents and emails show that the Liberals ignored all evidence and abruptly cut off the program with no transitional support to racetracks and horse people. The result was catastrophic. Former Liberal MPP John Wilkinson predicted 23,000 job losses and 27,000 dead horses. The lawsuits coming our way will likely add up to $500 million, and you'll be lucky to settle for $250 million. My question is, why did the government ignore all evidence and scrap the Slots at Racetracks program at the expense of rural Ontario, thousands of beautiful horses, and good-paying jobs?
Thank you. Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I appreciate the question. The member opposite references a decision to ensure that more of the money that's being raised without the industry goes to the horsemen and the horses. And frankly, we not only looked at the way it was being done, which was not as transparent and not to the benefit of the horsemen. That is why we are committed to the long-term sustainability of the horse racing industry. This Premier took it upon herself specifically to make sure more money goes to them. $100 million more annually is going to the horse racing partnership, right for the horsemen. We are doing everything to make it a sustainable industry on an ongoing basis, recognizing the importance where the money should be. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the government is being sued by a group of standard-bred horse breeders over their political decision to kill slots at racetrack. The government is trying to block witnesses from testifying, including former Premier Dalton McGuinty, former Finance Minister Dwight Duncan, and the current Premier of Ontario. Now we know that the Liberals have been trying to hide. A long trail of documents shows that senior Liberals conspired to scrap slots at racetracks. A top advisor to Premier McGuinty wrote in an email, and I quote, "Meeting with the Premier just ended. He was inclined to go to $0 for horse racing. They rushed to cancel the program without doing any real economic analysis or consulting with the horse racing industry." Again to the Premier, why was your government willing to devastate the horse racing industry with 23,000 job losses, 27,000 dead horses? Was it because the brunt of damage would fall on rural Ontario?
Hear, hear. Thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we are committed to supporting the horse racing industry. It is why we are taking and obtaining the resources necessary to provide for the revenues. We are supplementing much of the horse racing tracks right now, both operations and their purses, Mr. Speaker. We are providing a funding program. We have the Ontario Race Center, which has been formed to provide even greater transparency and oversight with horsemen and the horses at the top of the chain of command, Mr. Speaker. We support greater transparency within the industry. We support greater use of funds. We are providing more money than they had before through slots. More money is going to where it needs to be. That's to the horses, to protect them, and in planning for the years to come, we recognize that cycle does take time. We want to partner with the horses. We are doing so, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.